Check. Sorry, guys, we're just having some technical difficulties here. There we go. Oh, man, I think we should be totally live now. Are we live?
One second.
I'll go on the church.
Yep, we're live.
Whoa.
2 people are watching.
No shit.
It might be me and somebody else.
And let's see. Here comes the sit down. Whoa.
2 people are watching.
No shit. I'm going to mute that. So, I think, wow. Whoa, this is kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. What's up, guys? Will here from The High Five.
And Chris.
A little delayed, but Chris is here.
Yep.
It's a little trippy. Like, I have like a TV in front of me, so we're making sure that we can see the stream, and yeah, it's working. So anyway, the title of this video is "Who Are We? Where Are We Going?" And we just wanted to spend a minute or two here, more than a minute, but just kind of talk about how we got into arm wrestling, how we started doing pay-per-views and tournaments, and where we're planning on going in the future. And then I know someone in the chat we start talking about Devon and Levon and all those types of things, and we're all about that. So hopefully a few more people hop on here. But yeah, it's exciting. Things are kind of getting crazy, right, Chris? Like,
yeah, ramp it up for an upcoming event. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
See, this is great. Having the TV is good. We can see them there and here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're ramping up for our next event. It's going to be absolutely insane. Knuckles Up 3 on May 11th. Mm-hmm. We added 2 more matches to the card. We added a match between Uncle John and Roger Learned. Mm-hmm. And then we also added another match with Wayne Withers.
Yep.
And
Mega Mike.
And Mega Mike, that's right, correct. Yeah. Mega Mike out of California, right?
Yep, big name coming out of California.
Big name, trying to prove himself, and we thought Wayne Withers would be a great opponent to really, kind of his next step up, because I know he wants Pavel, he wants all these big names, right? Mm-hmm. But you got to climb those ranks. So, Mega Mike, if you're watching, it's a great opportunity for you. And Wayne, we know you're here and you're not going anywhere, so you're here to stay and show everybody what it's about, So, but yeah, who are we? Why are we here? Why do we do this? I don't know. Sometimes I question myself,
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess in the chat we got the arm wrestling opinion. Yeah, I mean, we'd love to have RBJ and Ryan Bowen's match. And I think, honestly, at the end of the day, it's really up to them, and in terms of kind of make sure we find like a good date that works for everybody, and kind of make sure, I know there's other promotions that probably want to have the same bite at the apple, so we don't want to make them feel like they're cornered into any position, right?
Exactly. And, perfect example is make sure you reach out to both RBJ and Ryan and let them know your thoughts. Let them know you want to see them at Knuckles Up. So, But yeah, who are we? Where are we going? So, I mean, I think we can just start back from the beginning. The team started back in 2020.
Yeah.
Right? And, 2021.
Yeah.
Right? 2021. And, Chris and one of our former business partners started it, and, starting in a park and getting everybody involved when you really couldn't get anybody involved. And
yeah, I mean, it was like literally like most teams, right? Well, we started in like a park, and we just tried to get anybody that could join, like whether it was through Armbet or through, we had been in the sport before. I had, numerous years of kind of competing and going up with another local team that, gave me kind of the foundation of everything I knew, right? I had great mentors like Bob Sowick, that kind of gave me the impression that I need to push it forward, pay it forward to, the new and upcoming like arm wrestlers, people that are interested in it, that just didn't know that it was like a real thing.
Yeah.
And then from there, we just got more and more traction. I think we had our first ever members were Kevin and Federico. Shout out.
Shout out to Kevin and Fed all the way in Austria now. Come back, Fed.
Yeah, I know. We miss you, brother. And I think from there, it's like they gave us a shot, which ultimately, like, they had no reason to, right? They were just super eager to get into the sport, and we were just really lucky that the first few people that we ended up, and in general, a lot of people that we meet in the sport, just were really awesome people that we wanted to stay friends with, till today, which is awesome.
Yeah, and then the team, it just kept growing and growing and growing month by month. And then shortly thereafter, I was asked if I wanted to arm wrestle, and I was like, yeah. I had done arm wrestling when I was younger, like
Yeah.
just for fun at the high school and
Yeah, we have
and
one of
stuff
his
like that.
tables at practice.
Yeah, I built like it's kind of what's a Deja Vu or whatever it is.
Foreshadowing.
When I did metal shop when I was in high school, and I built an arm wrestling table to, I believe at the time it was AFA standard or something. It was American something Association of Arm Wrestling or AAA or something like that.
Okay.
But it's basically a standard like kind of like WAF table type thing. And I built it and I have it to this day, which is super cool. And kind of it really started to grow organically. We started discussing hosting a tournament. So the first thing we did was we had a Arnold Classic qualifier. Where we practice is actually the gym that I work at. And so we had everybody there. We had a great turnout. We went to the Arnold. It was an awesome experience. And we get together all the time to watch East versus West and King of the Table and all those types of things. And we kind of just sat there for a moment like, well, why can't we put on a pay-per-view, right? I mean, it's kind of how the first conversation started is why can't we do it?
Yeah, and I think, right, it's really like a lot of people that are probably watching this, or the few people that are watching it, everyone loves a sport so much, and you want to give back to the sport, and a lot of the time you're thinking about like, what is the way that I can impact it for the better? And I think through our experience of our backgrounds, right, myself being like financial analyst and having done wrestling and helped with running tournaments, and Will, obviously your background in the gym and the strength sports, strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, we saw ways that we can implement just things that we've seen in other industries into our sport. And there's really no reason why we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like we want to bring it to the highest level. So like, why not implement things that have already been done in other professional sports?
Yeah, and I think one of the coolest things was once we came up with this idea, it wasn't something we kind of kept to ourselves. We started talking to our team, and it just so happens that then people on our team were able to help us. We have people who do production we didn't even know, and just people who help us in so many other ways. Because as Chris said, like we're giving back, but you realize that the people within your community can help you as well, and so we kind of hit the ground running and started. It's tough because I work a 9 to 5, but because working at a gym is never a 9 to 5, it's really like a 24/7 job. And then Chris's job is 9 to 5, but depending on what project he's working, he's whatever hours. So this was something that we had to do in our off time. So we're not wealthy by any means. Like we have to just put our heads down and start grinding. We'd love to be able to do this full time, of course. But I think because it's like it truly is a passion of ours. It's a passion project. That hopefully becomes just, gets a life of its own, which I think it kind of has.
Yeah.
And we just keep going event to event. But
yeah, we actually got a few people in the chat. Ivan, dude, what's up? His tournament's coming up. That's the 27th, I believe.
Oh,
April.
nice.
So yeah,
awesome.
We're going to be there cheering you guys on.
Hell yeah.
They had an awesome tournament last time around, so definitely want to see it in person this time. And then we have Megatron. Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while, man.
Yeah, he had to come to practice. He came to practice a couple times, right?
Yeah, I mean, it felt great, and I mean, he's been to all of our events as well, so we really do appreciate the support. So yeah, we'll see you at the next one.
Yeah, so back to kind of how we started doing this thing. So we got the first one together, and I think it goes without saying it was very difficult.
Yeah,
it was just when you deal with production and hotels and athletes and food and I think that's what's interesting is I'm so curious as to how much other owners of arm wrestling organizations get how nitty gritty do they get involved?
Yeah.
Because we're involved in everything. Like we design the jerseys, right? We get them the hoodies. We deal with what the pay-per-view looks like, what food they're eating, what beds they're sleeping in, the flights, the Ubers, the hotel, like everything. Which I think is super fun and cool, but can be a lot. And obviously within the first one, thankfully we did well because everybody was happy, but they didn't see us crying in the corner at night,
So I think just coming back to our team and how we couldn't do it without
Yeah.
like the village around us. It really does take a village. I know we've said it before, and we'll keep saying it.
Steps in the chat.
Oh, Steph! I was gonna say the name looks so familiar. I think I've
You're
seen
so
that before.
lame. Hey, babe.
But yeah, I think when it comes to, I mean, she's obviously like one of the main like pillars that keep this all together, right? Like I tell people like we kind of assembled like the Avengers of like,
Yeah.
what it would take to put on a pay-per-view. So whether it's Joe or Francis or Martin or Alina and
Maria,
yeah,
everybody,
exactly. Like
Norm, everybody helped. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like it really takes a team effort, and obviously it's beneficial that we have an actual team that we train with every week, and I think they also see the benefits of having these people kind of come to your what they call it, your backyard to like from all over the world. So I see where it's beneficial, but I think yeah, we really couldn't do it without them.
Yeah.
I know it's hard as owners to a lot of the onus is on us, and we try to put the best product out there. But without them, I don't think it would be as good as it is, and it's definitely a lot more rewarding when you could do it with your friends.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then honestly, and then basically, essentially, what happened was we got done with the first one, and literally, what, maybe a week later, 2 weeks later at max, we started planning. Knuckles Up 2. Oh, is that like on the thing? Wow, Chris, you have a shitty ass seat.
Yeah.
That's totally messed up. I don't know how to fix that.
It's on the back there. I can.
Oh, you
fix
can
if
do
you-
it on the phone?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, go do
I
it on
can
the
fix
phone.
it,
Yeah, let's. Thank you,
Steph.
Jacobin and Steph. I didn't know what he meant by purple got a rough seat there, and now I understand why. Yes, Steph. Yeah, we're gonna fix that right now. Yeah, it's just literally just me this whole time. You could have said so. I thought that was like just all like on our. Wow, yeah, that's literally the YouTube right there.
No,
Wow,
that's good. The moneymaker.
genius.
Yeah. Yeah, you can keep talking.
So anyway, so we started playing for KU2, and we hit the ground running, and we tried to just upgrade every single time. Joe, next event is May 11th, Knuckles Up 3 in Fort Lee, New Jersey at the Barrymore Film Center. So we started planning for Knuckles Up 2, and we, as Chris said, assembled the team again. Got everybody, who wanted to help, and, reached out to as many athletes as possible, and it's been absolutely incredible. Can you not figure it out?
No, we're good.
Oh, sweet. Chris, come back. There's nothing blocking your beautiful face anymore.
All right.
All right. So we started playing number 2, and, we just pulled out all the stops. Obviously Sandal Sound, absolutely incredible. A production company that we've worked with and been thankful to, and they're coming back for KU3. And we had amazing athletes. We had Tom Holland come over from the UK, and Cody Merritt over from... not Montana. Where does he live? Idaho?
No, I thought
Iowa?
it was Montana. Yeah.
Montana, something like that.
So, yeah.
But we just assembled all these amazing athletes, and it was once again incredible. We had Baek Sung Yul from South Korea, and it was just the names keep going and going. But so now we're at Knuckles Up 3, and yeah, thank you guys, appreciate that. And now we're just trying to step it up once again. We have a brand new facility. At Barrymore Film Center. It's absolutely incredible. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's going to be just nuts. Yeah, it's awesome. And and so that's kind of what we wanted to tell everybody is like, if you ever have the idea or want to do something like this, it really takes just one thing, and that's effort. Like you just need, I know that sounds super cliche, like when you need to figure out how to get something done, it will happen. Like when you need to find time in your schedule, you're going to find it. When you need to somehow find money to make things happen, like you're going to work harder, you're going to work another job, you're going to do whatever you have to do, and you're going to put it together. And hopefully one day you put out a beautiful product and create what you want to. So that's just where we're here. It's our dream, guys, and we're just going to keep pushing. And it comes down to one thing. We're going to keep putting on the best fucking arm wrestling events that we can until the wheels fall off.
Yeah, and
the wheels aren't squeaking right now; they're rolling.
Yeah, and it's honestly because of the support. I think Megatron makes a good point. There's more and more people that come to every event, which we couldn't be more appreciative of.
Yeah.
And I think that in itself is really a good example of him kind of coming up with like input, right? We want to hear, because it's for you guys, right? Like,
Yeah.
it would be great if we could just watch all these athletes, but if we just watch them ourselves, it's not very exciting. So, getting people to like hear what you guys are doing, and I mean, what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, is the only way we can make it better.
Yeah.
You know, we want your input. Like, please, like, tell us.
Canon, Maximo, we do have practice every single Sunday at Signature Fitness in Belleville, New Jersey. Follow our Instagram, The High Five Arm Wrestling. We post about it. It's from 5 to 8 p.m. usually. Just about every single Sunday we have practice. But yeah, that's what we're about. We're about putting on events. We're about putting amazing things for you guys, and we just want you to know that like we're just athletes like you. Like we're just normal people who work 9 to 5 jobs, and just keep putting on these awesome events and just keep planning on doing it more and more and more. But if you're in the chat, if anybody who's listening, if you have any questions about our card and stuff like that, we're going to kind of transition now. I know the hot topic, right, is East versus West 12, it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, East versus West 12. We're going to talk a little bit about our card. But the moral of the story here, guys, is like, if you have a dream, chase it. If you want to be part of something bigger than yourself, do it. Because you don't want to regret it, you know? You don't want to be, I hate to get morbid, you don't want to be in your deathbed being like, I coulda, shoulda, woulda. Like, I'd rather have a tank super empty than, you know, completely full with dreams and aspirations that never, came into fruition. So, that was preachy.
You're good. You're good, John. I mean, again, we do appreciate it, and we can never stop saying thank you guys. Because honestly, like, without the support, like everyone's contribution all over, it really is. It makes it so. It's very rewarding. You know, it's Steph said.
Thanks, Steph. I'll see you in a few hours.
But yeah, so Joe, just to answer your question, so they are not having a rematch on this card. Like specifically, there's definitely that's on the table because I think that was a banger of a match. I know a lot of controversy, which we're hoping to clear up with a future video.
Yeah.
But right now, the match is going to be Jason against Mariton Bacchus. They're meeting at 2:15, and then you got Tom gonna pull Beck from South Korea. They're also meeting around like the 205 pounds, and that should be a banger. If you like the side pressure that was happening on the table with Jason and Tom, you're definitely gonna like.
It's gonna be nuts because I'm not sure what version of Mario we're gonna see because he is the cap, I believe, is 215, right? So Mario's got to come down and meet Jason, and Jason is eating and fueling. He said today he was about 209 pounds. So it's going to be interesting. I think Jay's just going to keep trying to put on as much size and strength as he can, within reason, because we are 4 weeks out. He can only gain so much more. But Mario's going to have a tough time making that weight cut. He said it in our chat too. So
yeah, and I mean we've been talking with him. Like the end result is like we want to make sure we help him as much as possible to make it down to the weight, and then also refuel once he kind of makes it. Because ultimately we want to put on a good show for everybody, which I think stylistically is going to be wild. I was talking to Gage about it today. I think essentially, right, we have a super strong hand, top roll, back pressure against like super strong side pressure. And going in the hook, I heard, is not a place you want to go with him. So, which we heard about Tom as well. So I think we'll
I think Jay could hold his own. It's just we'll see. But the people want to know, Chris, is there going to be a Knuckles Up 4?
Oh, I mean...
Is there going to be a Knuckles Up 5?
I don't know if there's an if. I think it's a when.
Is there going to be a 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10? You're goddamn right there's going to be a Knuckles Up to 10.
I apologize for him getting so close.
Guys, I'm so pumped right now. I'm sorry. I guess the pre-workout, it has a re-kick right now. Seeing that on the screen is kind of scaring me. But in all seriousness, guys... We're in this, man. We're trying. We want to keep doing this, like, for years, right? Like, I think what's so special about Knuckles Up is when you are in person at one of our events, it is unlike anything you've ever experienced. And I'm not trying to be salesy. I'm not trying to be preachy or whatever the hell it is. But if you can make it to the tri-state area and come, we're right outside of New York City at this beautiful theater. You're going to be blown away because, it's great. Like, I love watching... East versus West and King of the Table, like, and this isn't knocking them. Like, it's hard to, like, I can't get to Dubai, right? But, like, for you guys who are stateside, like, spend the $150 and get a flight to New York. If you're within your means, because I guarantee you it is so worth it. It's going to be absolutely crazy, and we're topping what we did last time tenfold. Yeah. We're going to have more lights, more cameras, more action, more music. We have some really cool things we're doing pre-show, post-show, halftime. I mean, it's going to be absolutely crazy. I'm sorry, I'm just so pumped. I'm going to shut up. I also and you probably need to eat, so I'm going to just shut up. So anyway, it's going to be freaking awesome, and you guys should totally come to see it live, because that's something. So here's a good segue.
Okay.
A good segue is like kind of what do we do within like Knuckles Up and the company and that type of stuff. So as you can tell, I may or may not have an IV of liquid cocaine 24/7, or whatever it may be. I can
attest he does.
But so my job within our company is kind of just like the front facing. Talking to you guys, which is what I love to do, and just the creative side of things. Like, how do I make the in-person experience better for every single person? How it looks like, how we're being represented, and all that type of stuff. And Chris, with his obviously incredible like finance and everything background, he really helps us with keeping us organized and like the wheel. Like, I might make the wheel, but the wheel doesn't turn without Chris. That's why we're very like.
No, yeah, and
I don't know how to explain. He's the yin to my yang.
So, I guess just to elaborate on that is, I think ultimately, right, we kind of fill where the weaknesses are, right? I think that's funny. Jaw's hilarious. But yeah, I think ultimately, right, we have our weaknesses where I'm not the most what they call it, camera-facing person, and I don't have the voice, right? I think, but I do really enjoy kind of talking to the crowd and collecting all the information so that now we can help make the next event better and see what everybody wants to see on the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, at Megatron, again, we really do appreciate bringing more people. That reminds us we also are selling tickets at the door, if you aren't able to get on the Eventbrite. But that being said, like, there's no third or fourth partner that's a millionaire that's like just funding all of this, right? Like, it's literally.
Hey, but if you want,
we're taking applications.
We're taking applications for millionaires. I would.
And the application is always a yes. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, it's literally your money is going straight back into this. Like, there's a reason why we kept our day jobs, right? Because this is not something that we're also making millions off.
Let's restate. There's a real reason why we kept our day jobs, but I think because we're like, I mean, like, guys, like this is like we're being as real as we fucking can be with you right now, like. Mm-hmm. This is how it is when you start a company, when you're starting on a promotion, whatever it is. Like, it's not going to be easy at first, but like what pays tenfold over is when we hear you guys saying that you liked the event and how cool it was to see the second one and now the third one. When our athletes are like telling other people, "Oh no, those guys do it right." Like, that is our money right there. That, like, you know what? Like, we might not be getting paid today, but down the line, you know what I mean? That will pay 100-fold, because people know that, like, when they come to Knuckles Up, they're treated well. Like, we're just like you. Like, we just want to have, like, honestly, also just a good time, right? Like, we want you guys to come, put on an awesome event. That's why I stress so much, like, guys, come to the event, because I've been, and Chris has too, we've been to World's Strongest Man. I've been to the Mr. Olympia on multiple occasions, the Arnold Classic, all that type of stuff, and sadly, sometimes there's a disconnect between the athletes and the spectators. I mean, because also, like, these events are massive. It's kind of hard to have it. But what's so cool is, like, there's a level of intimacy that happens at Knuckles Up that, like, you can just go talk to these people and shake their hand and get on a table with them and learn from them and go out to dinner. Like, shout out. No, that's actually a really good point. One of our sponsors, we'd like to thank the Cast Iron Pot in Little Ferry. Thank you very much. That is where the after pull is going to be this year. So you guys can literally come, get a table, eat some awesome food, be literally like talking to the athletes like right next to there, and then pull like all at the same time. It's going to be absolutely crazy.
It's going to be an awesome after party. And, Evan and Joe kind of mentioned it, like having people like Jake, you know, the Aussie Arm Wrestler, kind of go in.
Yeah. Thank
and,
you, Evan.
You know, kind of help us and like again, not that Will had a weakness there, but it's like giving that experience of being on,
Oh, yeah.
you know, King of the Table and you know being on like these huge platforms. I think we just try to learn from everybody's experience, and like to what Will was saying, you know, we talk to the athletes and we say like, all right, what did you like from here, or what are we doing right? Because not only do we hear from, you know, from the spectator point of view, but hear from the athletes, and they're essentially what we watch, right, and what we aspire to be. We all want to be at, you know, especially people that are competitive, want to be at the top one day, and you want to see that there's something to work towards. You know, if you hear that these athletes had to, you know, pay for X, Y, and Z, and you know they didn't even have food when they got there, or their hotel was like, you know, in the worst
Festival
condition.
roaches, or I don't know.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's kind of like, oh well, I'm not gonna work hard. I don't want any of that. You know, I can spend my time doing other things, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like I said, it's incredible. I think like, and it's surreal, like what we've done so far, and once again, it's if we didn't have people watching it, like we wouldn't be able to do it, right?
Exactly.
So, oh, what a comment drop.
Well,
I'm gonna pause. Shut up.
Before we go there.
What? Is there another one we have to comment about first?
Yeah, so Cannon, appreciate you going to your first event. I mean, ultimately, right, like it's going to get better every time. So there's always, the first one is always the best, right? Because it's unlike anything I've ever seen. Yeah, and then also Savage Arm Wrestling, you got Levi in the house. So
oh, that's right. That's right.
Thank you again.
Just let me. I'm like a kid in the candy store.
All the help with kind of getting us help with getting to these like Asian athletes, especially like in Japan. We really couldn't do it without you.
That's right. Now, the arm wrestling opinion.
Oh, that's so hilarious.
Thank you for that comment. Because the man to my left,
oh god,
176 right arm, Winter Blast Pro champion, definitely needs to be on a card.
Yeah,
I may or may not be forcing him to be on one sooner than later. So you stay tuned, because this guy, listen, just close your ears for a sec, Chris.
Okay.
Dustin Hyatt?
Oh
who?
god. Oh god. We don't have.
Dustin, by the way, awesome dude. You should totally be on one of our cards. But
he even came by our what do you call it?
A booth at the Arnold.
Dude, he's a stud, man.
He's a stud, but he's not as studalicious as my main man Chris here.
Nah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
So yes, the arm wrestling opinion, Chris should definitely be on a card, and we'll see when it comes.
Yeah.
It might come sooner than later, but it's going to come.
And I think honestly. And I think Will is a great example. When he was on our card, that is a huge commitment.
This is a good point. Yeah,
you know, like being, you know, owners of the company and helping with putting everything together. The reason why I'm not jumping at the bit, because I'm always down to pull. I mean, I didn't get into the sport just because I like to watch it. I wanted to be part of it, right? You know, it's really about. I want to make sure that the product that we're putting out doesn't get hindered in any way because of it.
Yeah, it's honestly pretty crazy. You know, now having been on one, and that was our first one, and now, you know, getting even more involved and all that type of stuff. Like, people don't understand.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Oh my lord! Well, the Aussie Arm Rushers in the house. What's up, Jake?
What's up,
but yeah, when you're not just part of the event, as in like running it and trying to be an athlete, like there is a level of selfishness that you have to attain. So our goal would be to get the production and everything at a point where like Chris can step away for, you know, an hour or so just to get his head right and stuff like that. And but yeah, don't get it twisted. Arm wrestling opinion. See, he said Dustin would be awesome. That's right. You're damn right it would be awesome.
I gotta find out who this guy is.
But yes, Chris will definitely be on a card one day. It's just a matter of us getting this down perfect so that we can have him be 100% focused and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to kind of go up the ladder like anybody else did.
Yeah,
like, you know,
of course.
It's not like, you know, Will didn't immediately say, I want to pull Devon, right? Because that wouldn't make any sense. So I think,
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
I'd be in like arm crutches. I'd be
yeah,
destroyed.
exactly. But yeah, so Megatron had a good question. So in terms of like kind of implementing running fouls into our like rule system. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so yeah, in regards to like setting up our specific rules, it's definitely something that's fluid and that we're looking for constant input in. So that's why we're eventually going to come out with content to help explain kind of our thought process and where we're going. With that, I think. Sorry, just reading
Jake,
the
there's
comments.
something happening behind my hand, and it's for you. Okay?
But regarding that, we don't want to do the running foul system just because we feel like sometimes it's hard to kind of gauge, like, all right, their elbow came off the pad, and how much is that really taking away from the other person? I think it's having the immediate stop and then restarting from there. It's like, all right, we already saw the infraction was made, so let's just kind of go back to ground zero and just start again. Make sure even playing ground, because it does happen, right? And that's why we increased our foul system to include 3 fouls, because we get it. Some of these might be strategic, but some of these are also accidental, and we don't want a match to end in fouls.
Yeah, and I don't know if you just said it, but a perfect example is like go back and watch Jason Merlo and Tom Holland's match.
Mm-hmm.
That's a prime example of like we are studying that match specifically, and we have a video that's going to be coming out explaining our rule system so you guys understand exactly what's going on. But also, like it told a lot, right? Like maybe we need to adjust things here and there and all that type of stuff. But the chat is going wild because Aussie and Uncle John are in here.
Oh yeah, we have another celebrity.
Watch out, guys! I mean, I think might as well just take over. They can just have their own chat, like within the video. But no,
so funny.
No, it's absolutely it's imperative that we get the feedback from each and every one of you guys. Because that's how we make our pay-per-view better every time. That's how we make the rules. That's how we make everything that we do every event better.
I know we were saying Aussie, speak of the devil. We're just actually funny enough, we're just saying thank you for like kind of working with us and kind of imparting your knowledge on being like one of the biggest voices in the sport. Again,
you know what, Chris? Stop sucking his dick. Fuck you, Jake. Right. I destroyed Leroy, and it was his idea. Am I not wrong? I did not ask for the match. Is that correct? Right? Come on.
He did come to our booth, and Leroy was very kind to kind of like, pull. Actually, I even pulled him, and he was a monster after. Like, did you see that video of like the curls he was doing? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, and then we kind of made the. I think did he pull? Yeah, you guys ended up pulling on.
We
the table
pulled a little bit
well,
on the table, and he was just like, "Let's make this a super match." And I just looked over at Chris, and I was just like.
And I was like, hey, it seemed like,
it
was a banger of a match. Like,
yeah.
We even have
Jake.
scar tissue to
I'm going to take that little trophy from you, Jake.
Yeah, left hand. That's a very expensive trophy from what I understand. So
what are you talking about? The trophy's like this big.
Yeah, but the buy-in for it is like 10K or something.
It's a 10K buy-in. I will match that whenever you like, and I'll use 2 fingers.
That's so funny.
Jake. Oh. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, it was a great match. It was awesome, and I'm super pumped to have been a part of it. And I'm still honestly, and this is I don't even know if I've told anybody this. I'm still dealing with injuries from that match because Leroy is literally that strong. Mm-hmm. When I was, I might have taken hand control, but every hit that I was doing was going right up into my shoulder. His bicep was just massively, massively strong. But yeah. Savage Arm Wrestling, yes, we are. We're always open about rules and how to move forward and make things better. I think that's something that, unfortunately, doesn't happen enough in the sport. Like we all remember like the WAL days, right? It was like close your thumbs, close your hands, go, right? And they had the extended pads and all that type of stuff. And I think it was great for what it was, but we saw the flaws in it, right? We saw the reasons why it favored certain types of styles of pulling and all that type of stuff. So we are always trying to improve the sport in general, right? Like Chris and I have, arguments all the time. Not arguments, but discussions about like, I believe that elbow pads should be centered like the way they used to be because it takes all advantages and disadvantages away. But then he also brings up the fact that, like, in terms of safety and setup, like, it can get easier and hard and all those types of things. So we're always trying to tinker and we have ideas for new tables, and we have, it's cool. Like, it's always good to try and change the sport for the better. Like, Ja, was the Freedom table on our channel? No, I don't think.
No, I don't think we've. I mean, we have
But
seen Ian Carney's
yeah, exactly.
table,
I was just about to mention, like,
which,
Ian is trying to do something pretty interesting
yeah,
now
with the Mac
with the
table.
Mac
So,
table.
actually, sorry, Levi, you aren't going to be able to make it, but actually, we're going to have that
Oh,
table.
that's
Yeah.
right.
So it's going to be at our event at the after pool. So
Yeah,
he's gonna,
so Ian will actually be in person at
Mm-hmm.
Knuckles Up 3. He's bringing some of his buddies down. He's going to have the Mac table. So if you want to try it out, it's definitely something you're going to want to see. It's cool. We saw it at Winter Blast. It's really interesting. I think it brings a whole different
like dynamic
to the sport, yeah. And I think that's his goal with it, is to make it a little bit less worrisome about fouls and more about the entertainment value and action of arm wrestling. So it's definitely something that could catch on for sure.
Yeah. Evan, yeah, no, appreciate it. Yeah, trying to get Asian arm wrestling in our promotion. I mean, I'm obviously kind of biased being Filipino myself, but I think and don't get me wrong, I think we all love the platform East versus West, and how we have kind of a lot of like North America and a little bit of South America going against like Eastern Europe, but I think there's so much more of the world that arm wrestles that isn't really getting the highlight that it really deserves. So I think that's kind of what we're going for, right? It's like, hey, there's great pullers in Japan and South Korea and the Philippines and in India that, are kind of getting thrown here and there, but not really being put on like the main stage,
Yeah.
on a consistent basis at least. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And it also kind of gives us, for myself, right? We go to these world competitions, and I've always been curious, like, oh, how does this guy stack up against them, or how do I do against them? So, I think it's a great opportunity to see all of that.
For anybody who's left in the chat, just because I have to ask, because we did if you haven't seen already, first of all, go to our YouTube channel, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to keep trying to put lives up, more content day by day. That's something we're really striving for. But if you didn't see, we did a predictions video about East vs. 12. I thought it was great. What do you guys think? We're just going to ask about one match. Levon and Devon. Now, I have to touch on it because I don't know if you saw, there was a video of them in the car.
Oh, like when Engin was gripping up with like Levon and stuff like that?
No, but there's a video
they're
of
gripping up with each
Devon and Levon gripping up left hand. I think they even put on a strap.
Yeah, I think I saw the still.
And he's so like Levon's just sitting there looking pretty, and Devon just keeps screaming, "You're gonna give up, you're gonna give up."
Yeah.
So I don't know.
The mind games.
I mean, the mind games are full blown.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, man.
Gotcha. So
I'm
John
excited.
he's thinking Devon's gonna pull the win on that one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, hey, anything. I feel like Devon has like the puncher's chance, right, or what they call it, boxer's chance. I think it's definitely a mountain, man. It's a mountain he is climbing.
I think it's possible.
It's one of those. I think a lot of it is in the setup. We said it in our last video. It's all about how much can Devon kind of tax Levon's hand before the match even starts.
Yeah. Who is it? Who was it that was? Oh, I watched I think it was an interview between Travis Bajent and I think it was Jake. I think Jake and Travis. And Jake, if you're still in the chat, you could touch on this. But I believe he was talking with Travis, and he talked about how, like, in reality, the match starts when you walk up to the table, right? So as much as I disagree with all the finicky, fighting for a grip and all that, I think it should just be flat palm to palm, close their hands, all fair, and go. That's not Devon's game. Devon is going to do and get whatever he can. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is we have to remember, it's no longer at King of the Table. It's at East vs. West. And Devon has done his homework. He knows how to, this isn't the right word, but he knows how to manipulate the refs. He knows how to manipulate the setup. He knows how to do all those things.
Oh, the Drusen, yeah.
What's happening, brother? He knows how to do all those things to get the advantage. And East vs. West is the perfect place for him to do that. Plus, they're not starting in the strap. So they are starting just outside the strap. So, like, there's more energy there, more fighting, more tiring Levon out. So, look, that's going to be the name of the game. He's going to try and tire him out all night long with a bunch of false starts, a bunch of grip ups, and then finally in the strap after having slipped out and all that type of stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Drew, we were just kind of asking the people in the chat essentially like who they think who's gonna win, Levon or Devon. Yeah, I mean, if there's any other matches you guys want to kind of talk about, by all means, there's tons of great matches that are coming up. We even have one of our favorites, Camille, is pulling Tobias Barong on
The
there.
Golden Dragon.
Yeah, so super excited for that. Really hope he does well. He's been training super hard for that as well, I think.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, arguably, left hand is just so disgustingly strong. I don't know. I'm glad he's finally getting a shot at, like, the top 6. You know what I mean? Top 10, yeah.
Ooh, Warren coming in hard with... I might not be... all right, I'm still interested in the match, Warren, just because, like, I completely agree. I think what Devon does at the table is a bit egregious, but that's his MO, and I respect that. Like, the guy's... At the end of the day, he's an incredible arm wrestler. What I hope, though, is that no matter what, it's a good... Like, there's some back and forth, right? Like, even though I think what's going to happen is I think Levon is just going to pin him 4 times straight once he gets in the strap. But I want to see good back and forth. I'd love, like, Hermes and Levon's match was incredible.
Was ridiculous, yeah.
That was absolutely awesome. So if we could get something close like that, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I think... yeah, and I think that's the coolest thing, right? I mean, Uncle John's a huge proponent of left hand. I think it's great that it's finally getting like more attention.
Ooh.
I'm not even good left-handed, but I think it's great that there's people walk around with 2 arms. Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't highlight that. Yeah.
I completely agree with Warren. I don't disagree. I'll just say that. But back on Uncle John. Uncle John is... John, what are you weighing now? Because this after pull... Because John's pulling right arm.
Yeah. Oh, that's... Hey.
I might have a torn labrum, but...
Yeah, I don't know why he's calling anybody out right now.
The wrist, this forearm, 255. You willing to do a little after pull with a 305 guy? I'm trying to be down to 275 by the event. Maybe like 280. Because, John, I'm just saying. It's got to happen.
Yeah. Levi, that is a good question, and I'm an idiot American that needs to convert that. So give me 2 seconds.
But Evan, yeah, we invited Tobias. We would love to work with him in the future.
Oh, there we go.
They're actually pulling over. See, that's why I like Uncle John. Just say goes right. But yeah, Tobias and Camille are not pulling on our card. They're pulling at East vs. West. So definitely support them. Go get their pay-per-view. But yeah, it's going to be an awesome match between the 2 of them. Honestly, like, if Camille can get to his spot, it's going to be crazy. If Tobias can gain hand control, it's going to be nuts. But honestly, more importantly, hello, Uncle John just said he's going to pull me in the after pull.
Yeah, I mean...
On the left. So just, John, make sure you don't pull anybody on your left arm at all, so that I can at least say that, like, I had, like, a fresh Uncle John Uncle John left arm. Yeah. I mean, I hope you absolutely destroy me. You probably will, because Chris is laughing at me like, Will, what the fuck are you doing?
But, I mean, I don't know why he's challenging anyone. He literally just got the MRI like last week.
Yeah, I literally got an MRI like 2 weeks ago. My shoulder's like torn to bits, but that's okay. But yeah.
But to answer your question, Levi, no. So I'm actually closer to like, I'm probably walking around like 185. I compete usually like 176. 165 is a bit of a stretch. I mean, I'd love to be 165. I just need
Let's just say
my relationship with food is...
Getting him to 176 for Winter Blast was interesting.
That was definitely a good time.
Yeah, we lot of sauna time, lot of water loading and shedding of weight, and
I just love food. I'm sorry, it's in my Filipino
we
genes.
we have some grilled chicken Caesar salad.
Yes.
We tried to go healthy. They're sitting at the table.
I'm working on it. I'm not. It's not the lack of trying. But yeah, so, some questions on if Jordan and Clement, you'd love to see them more as well.
Do we not get all the chats here?
We do. It's just super fast on that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just scrolling up. Yeah.
So, Uncle John, I'm so down for a contract. Let's not do any money. Let's like, I don't know. Let's put like a meal on the line, or like someone has to eat like really nasty food.
Interesting.
Ooh, is there any like really odd Korean delicacies or like from any other country, like Britain or something, that like one of the athletes can bring for us.
I mean, I
Like,
can
oh wait, we have
ask
Australian.
Beck, yeah.
We could have Mario bring Vegemite. That shit is gross.
That's actually terrible. I've had it before.
It's so bad.
I think I gagged. Yeah.
Like, yes, this is why I like it like that, right?
Joe,
Like, we have to eat a
mukbang
whole jar of Vegemite or something
Yeah,
like that.
Durian also.
Oh, God.
is, like,
Oh, no, not
super
durian.
smelly, yeah.
Oh, natto? Oh, my
Natto.
God. That's like the fermented beans, right?
Yeah, it's my wife's favorite breakfast meal. But yeah,
Oh, God.
she'll pull for that if you guys want. For free.
So, yeah, John, well, we'll definitely figure something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
But yeah, no, so definitely not ready for Arm Hero. But yes, I am super excited to definitely next time I'm in Japan to pull a bunch of the guys there. Last time I pulled with the Osaka team, and they were great. I can't wait to pull like the guys over in Tokyo.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, we had another question from Edness asking, can we get Setvon back?
So, all I'm going to say is Svetlana
Master.
Gashevsky, Master, will be back at a Knuckles Up. And I will leave it there. And all what I'm going to add to that is pay attention to the matches at Knuckles Up 3, because it'll show you who Svetan's next opponent may or may not be.
Yeah, and like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Marvel and how like Disney doesn't want people talking about certain things. I feel like I'm sitting next to like that Tom Holland, not the one from, from our card, where I'm like, Will, what are you about to say? Spoil our next event or future events, and I'm just like, okay.
Did I?
No. I'm listening as if something was gonna get spoiled.
No. I don't think I
like,
spoiled anything.
No.
I don't think so.
We're good.
Just watch Knuckles Up 3 because it's going to be awesome. And Svetan will definitely be back. I don't know when. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know at what weight class. But he will be back.
Interesting. So Megatron. So definitely a big fan of Artem, and he's on a tear left hand against Merlot. Question for you. Are we talking left hand or are we talking right hand?
Because did you see that round robin?
Yeah, I think Merlot, again, the round robin's tough. It's like a tournament format. So really, a lot of it is strategy too in terms of where people pull beforehand and stuff like that. But right arm seemed a little bit too much.
Who knows? Because I know Artem is like way better on his left than he is on his right.
Exactly. And they're also, I know Merlot is like itching to pull anyone left. So,
Yeah.
I think that's definitely something
Ooh.
we'd be open to.
That brought up another thing we have to remind them. Guys, the reason why you want to be at Knuckles Up is there's something special that happens, right?
At every Knuckles Up.
At every single Knuckles Up.
All two of them.
all two of them, right? We do have some secret matches that are only viewed by the people in-house. And then we post them much, much later. Yeah. We actually are going to post the one probably this week from Knuckles Up 2 of a left-handed match that happened that no one knows about unless you were there. Yeah. So get your butts to the Barrymore Film Center because there's going to be a lot of surprises.
Yeah. And we're talking about matches that aren't even like on the pay-per-view.
No, yeah, they're not on the pay-per-view. They're not on the card. Like, we film them so we can eventually show YouTube later. But, like, they happen when, like, we literally say, like, thank you guys and good night. And then we say, all right, it's time for the under secret mega freaking crazy card.
For the people in the chat, what would you think we should call this card? Because it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. So I'm completely
the under dark black magic card.
Yeah, exactly. So we obviously haven't confirmed a name.
Yeah, we have not confirmed a name yet, but it is a secret match that is voted on. We could tell them this, right? It's voted on by the athletes themselves, and they get together. I mean, we have so many dinners and lunches and breakfast all together. So they really start talking to each other, and the forbidden card. Ooh, that's kind of good.
Knuckles down, interesting.
Knuckles
I feel
down.
Like I suggested that.
You might have suggested that. Knuckles
familiar,
down.
But yeah.
But they talk, and of course we give some suggestions, and Jake gets involved, and we just hear opinions and stuff like that, and then once kind of like two names are finally put together, we asked them like, hey, like, would you guys want to do this? Like, for example, on Knuckles Up 1, we had Jason Merlo versus Nicholas Nonstad on the right arm, but both of them have been talking about how they're much better on the left. So it was pretty simple. They said, yo, do you want to do like the left-hand match when everything is done?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was...
I was going to say, it was kind of like a movie. Like, all the athletes were, like, eating dinner or lunch or whatever.
Like, dude, you guys got to pull left.
Yeah, exactly.
They were, like, complaining. Like, why is this a right-handed match? We're
exactly,
like, sorry.
Yeah, everybody pulls right now. But yeah, so, and that's a good question, Drew. So, yeah, Artem and Merlot pulling both arms. I wouldn't be against that.
I think it'd be cool.
I mean, we had Pablo pull both arms on,
We also have... Oh, no, I'm not going to spoil that surprise.
Yeah.
Remember those other concepts we had?
Yeah. I wouldn't spoil that.
Yeah. You guys should just watch Knuckles Up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So,
Yeah.
And maybe it'll come out on one of those.
Shadow card, interesting. I feel like we're getting into like Yu-Gi-Oh territory.
Yeah.
But which makes me sound like a nerd.
Was it the Shadow Realm, right?
Yeah, it was.
Dude, I'm a nerd right there with you.
I was gonna say, I don't think you're helping the situation, but yeah.
I'm just gonna have a blue eyes just to come up on the screen like for the card.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, and actually that's a good point too. Like, if in terms of matchups for future cards, literally the premise of what we're putting together is not about, oh, we think this guy's ranked number 1 here, and he could hold the number 1 rank there, or what have you, because there's really no ranking system within our actual like organization or league, whatever you want to call it. It's really based on what you guys want. You know, like, we obviously are thinking about matchups and what we think would be good stylistically, or what the athletes are interested. But like, if you guys are in the chat and you're on the social media, whatever, I sound super old saying that, but constantly push.
You're on the YouTubes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, pump out what you guys want, because we're constantly like, looking at what you guys are posting and what you guys are voting on.
I think that's what makes it so interesting is because we don't have a ranking system, we can put together any match that we want. And like, we have even done things like taking someone from 2 separate weight classes and contemplating putting those together if the 2 athletes agree.
Yeah.
Like, perfect example is Sveton literally said that after Chance had beaten...
Oh, yeah, that was wild. Yeah.
After Chance had beaten... help me out here. My brain's not working. Sabin Badalescu. Thank you. After Chance had beaten Sabin, Master was like, I want to pull Chance on the next card. And we were like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, like, I'm dropping him off at the airport, and he's like, oh, yeah, like, I'm thinking about, I want to come back. You guys are great, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I want to pull a Chance. And, like, sometimes language barrier, I'm like, you want a chance at somebody? I'm like, no, like, Chance Shaw? And he was like, yeah. And then, like, Sabin's like, yeah, I think it'd be a great match. And I'm like, you're like 185 or 187?
And he's like 260 or something?
Yeah, but I mean, more power to him. And honestly...
It would be a great match.
I was going to say, like, things like that, it's like we didn't even think of it, but that kind of would be awesome, knowing how... like, how much of a stud that Sebon is.
It's tough, guys. Like, setting up a match like that is difficult because, like, the heavier dude does not want to lose to the lighter dude.
That's a very good
point.
point.
They have to be willing to, like, put that risk out there because it's also, he doesn't
risk.
gain much.
Yeah.
Because you're beating a lighter guy. But that match in specifically, I think could be incredible because, like, Master... like, transcends weight classes, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
He's been around for so long and
wins on like everyone.
Yeah, it's been absolutely incredible. So, hey, if that's a match that you guys want to see, hit up Chance Shaw and say, guys, Svetlana Gashevsky, let's make it happen. The Master comes back for his pupil.
Yeah,
for some revenge. So,
all right, Levi, have fun at work. Appreciate you stopping by.
Appreciate it, guys.
And then Edna's good question. So, Giannis coming over for a match. I am a huge fan of the Jedi from like WAL days, and that's a good question. From my understanding, I thought he was supposed to pull Mendagas Terrasitis at a like few East versus West ago, but I think during his prep he ended up getting injured. I've seen him pull at some tournaments. I'm not sure like what ended up happening in terms of like his recovery. Maybe he doesn't feel ready yet to pull on a main
Yeah.
card, but I mean, guys, send him a message, let him know that we're interested because we would both love to
Honestly,
have you on
like
this
we'd love
undercard.
to have that whole crew. Like we would love to have
Oh, like Coach
Giannis, Coach
Ray,
Ray, Sandris
Sanders.
all come together.
The Latvians are
The
freaking
Latvians are
rolling deep.
absolutely
Yeah,
nuts.
especially after talking to Oleg's about them. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like, they're
I
cool
think that
people
would be
too.
sick. Guys, we're going to hop off here in just about a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, first of all, thank you all so much just for just tuning in.
Yeah.
And, of course, for all the support. We couldn't do it
Yeah.
without you. We say all the time. We'll be saying that for the next 20 years. We really can't do it without each and every one of you guys. All the support, coming to the events, buying the pay-per-view, letting people know about what we're doing. We are here. We're not going anywhere, and we want to keep growing with you guys.
Yeah, actually,
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was sorry to cut you off. I was just gonna say, it's a good segue. Like we had talked about in terms of you guys kind of supporting us through buying tickets and pay-per-views. Each dollar kind of goes to that. Same thing for like our sponsors, right? Our sponsors are a huge contributor to us being able to be successful. And in doing that, we also want to start building out other ways that maybe somebody that doesn't have a company to help contribute to us, right? Like we're thinking about things like a GoFundMe or even like memberships that we could do to our YouTube. So
Patreon or something.
Yeah, exactly. So there's ways that we want to make sure that you guys want to, and in doing that, right, we want to give back to you as well. So it's not only it's going to help our pay-per-view, but we're going to try to add more perks in there so that it's beneficial to your investment. So,
Yeah.
Because we know you guys work hard for your money just like how we do. So we really do appreciate all the support.
Guys, so like, comment, and subscribe to the High Fives YouTube channel. Like I said, we're going to be dropping the secret undercard, Knuckles Down, Shadow card, Shadow Realm match, whatever it was.
The forbidden card.
From Knuckles Up 2. It's going to be posted on our YouTube channel this week. But guys, we love the support. We'll see you guys at Knuckles Up 3 on May 11th at the Barrymore Film Center in Fort Lee, New Jersey. See you guys there. Peace.